Ladies and gents, greetings. Welcome to First Light Cloud Exchange, your cloud solutions center. It is truly a privilege to bring the latest tidbits from the technological world to your doorsteps. Cybersecurity continues to dominate the landscape. New threats are emerging every day. More bad guys are coming to play. To discuss all those and to bring different perspective, we invited Telesystem, one of our premier partners, to our studio today. So without further ado, let's get to it. We have Mr. Ryan Blair and Mr. Ira Fierstein in our office today. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks, Taz. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for making the trek to come down here and talk to our customers and prospects and our audience. Let's start there. I love your t-shirt. It says, "Hackers suck." You want to start there?
Hackers do suck. You know, the world that we live in today is fraught with peril for businesses of every size. It doesn't matter if you're a 5-employee company or a 50,000 employee company. Bad guys want to take you down, and they're equal opportunity bad guys. And I think the scariest part here, to be honest, is these are criminal organizations. You know, they're not some kid in a black hoodie in a dark room. You know, these are criminal organizations run and operated and funded by nation states, North Korea, Iran, you know, the usual suspects. So the odds of a business being able to protect themselves without even thinking about it is nil. You have no chance.
That's where Telesystem comes in.
Correct.
And before we go any further, let's talk about Telesystem.
Sure, yeah. Telesystem may not be a household name, but we're also not a startup by any means. Telesystem's been providing advanced technology solutions to businesses for over 30 years now. We support customers from coast to coast with cybersecurity, networking, and voice options. Everything from protecting the employee, training the employee, protecting the physical endpoints, as well as protecting the email.
That's great. And obviously the focus today is on cybersecurity. The security landscape is only getting weirder and weirder, right? There's more bad guys coming in every day. Every day you hear that businesses are getting ransomware attack and they having to pay massive penalties for that.
Sure.
As you were saying, bad guys are everywhere, and Telesystem has some solutions for that?
Absolutely. I think from a business perspective, you need to think of it in a holistic approach because there are so many different ways that bad guys can get in, right? They can come in through a ransomware attack. You know, that's through your email where you click on a suspicious link. They can come in through your firewall, or sometimes you just leave the front door open of your office.
Yep.
Right? And so you've got to think of it as a holistic approach. So the way I always like to explain it is, listen, think of it as the foundation of cybersecurity is making sure your people are protected, which you would use security awareness training for that, because employees are the weakest link in your business.
Correct.
If you take anything away from this, understand that. But then also,
and it's not because they want to be weak. They're just not aware. They don't know. They're not given the right tools and right training. That's the reason. Employees are not bad. They're not intentionally doing anything malicious. They're just not properly trained.
Correct. But thinking about that, you need to take it to the next level. So you need to protect your people. You need to protect your computers. So what does that mean? That means you have endpoint protection, something
Correct.
that's stopping viruses and malware and different things from running on your PCs. And you need to also protect your email. So stopping things from even getting in through your email. There's many other layers, but those are kind of the 3 core foundational areas that every business has to have.
So I can take away from that the worst way the 3 ways the ransomware or cyber attack can take place within your environment is from email, right? Lack of knowledge and understanding of cybersecurity. Also, password is an issue. Poor password. Is that right?
Absolutely. Password management is one of the biggest things. that people need to think about. And I know it's difficult because what you're asking people to do is have a different complex password on every single login they have.
And they have to change it after every 9 months or so.
Yep. Human nature is not to do that.
Right.
And I've seen examples where you walk into an office and literally a person has all their passwords on a sticky note right on their computer.
Yep.
Or worse yet, you could be like, some people that I know very close to me who use the same exact password.
For everything.
For everything.
Yep.
Now, if you're listening to this, you might be chuckling at that right now because you're probably doing it, right? But that's very bad. That's very bad. Bad guys know you do that.
So getting a password manager would be a good idea?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So secure the password and then come down to the email level. So you offer an email security platform?
We do. We offer an email security platform, and what that does, it has multiple facets to it, but the biggest thing is it protects anything coming in inbound on your email that may be nefarious. So could be spam or it could be malware. Both can be bad, right? But it also does some other things that are really cool. Things like if a virus does come into your office, and what they like to do, the bad guys, they like to take command and control of one of your computers and use your computer to further spread the virus. Yep. So with our email protection, we actually can protect the outbound routes also. So if you were to get a virus or malware and it starts going out through your system, we can stop that from happening also.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's not only you're protecting inbound, but if somebody does by mistake click on that bad link and gets infected, now you're stopping from him infecting the rest of the network.
Correct.
That's beautiful.
Correct.
And that is also part of managed detection and response or remediation?
So managed detection and response is a little different, right? Managed detection and response, you're talking more about endpoint protection, and we use a combination of people and artificial intelligence to stop things from running that shouldn't be running. So as an example, somebody loads a new program on their computer. Let's say you're in an engineering company and you're using some sort of old school software. And this is very common in manufacturing, engineering.
Sure.
They're using old software that hasn't been updated in many years. We're going to look at that and say, this just doesn't seem right, so we're going to stop it from running. And then what we do is we have people who actually look at it to confirm that it actually shouldn't be running. And then we will go to the point of having a discussion with the client to understand, why is this running? Do you know what this is? Should we allow it? Should we not allow it? And go from there.
And that is actually also run by AI on the background. So it's not only human interference, but also AI is also checking everything a little bit more competence, if you will.
It's a combination, right?
Right.
Because AI isn't fully there, obviously. It will be, I'm sure, way beyond what we hope it will, I guess, one day. But at the end of the day, AI is a tool, right? But we still think that human interaction is super critical.
So draw us a picture of an environment that is pretty well secured. What does a business need to implement to get, a good secure platform?
Well, the big thing, like I talked about, is having the three foundational elements, which is protect your people, protect your endpoints, and protect your email. Those are the three. You have to have those. But then you need to look at other things. Some of which we don't even do. Like you guys do, like making sure that you have great backups.
Yep.
Because if something goes wrong, if you don't have backups, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
And something can still go wrong. Doesn't matter how much protection you have, how much money you have invested. Let's say your nephew comes to your office and plugs in his phone to charge. No one really thought about that. Mm-hmm. And there was no protocol in place for that. But that did take place. Now that phone had a nasty virus on it, and now it got spread. What happens? You still have a problem. So if you do not have proper backup, then you are in really bad trouble.
Absolutely. And you can extend it out to things like having a firewall in your office, but having somebody manage it, right? So we do manage firewall, which is important because that is sort of like your sentry in your business, making sure your guard, making sure no one's coming in from an external place that they shouldn't be. So managing and making sure that there aren't obscure logins coming from some country that you don't do any business with in the middle of the night. So managed firewall is another thing that we can help with.
And I've seen that in action. I mean, I have received notification on always Sunday morning, Saturday morning that somebody is trying to log into our network or trying to transfer information, and the managed firewall actively blocks it, as well as the managed detection and remediation also is on alert that something bad is going on.
Yeah.
And that's the advantage of having managed services. You may have a mom and pop IT shop managing your network, but the differentiator going with a carrier like Telesystem would be that they have security operations centers that are staffed with engineers that are looking at every endpoint 24/7, 365. So anything that happens in real time, you're able to identify and remediate in real time.
Correct. And one other thing I'll talk about, this is a story for everybody out there. I think it's very poignant. Is that in my neighborhood, I live in a nice neighborhood. We're a gated community, and we have our house. We have this 2-story house on one side of the street. Across the street is another 2-story. Same exact model. We look a little different, but same exact model. When you drive into our neighborhood, our lights are on. We have a car in the driveway. We have 2 crazy dogs that are barking inside the house. And it just looks like there are people there. Across the street, I'm telling you, the garage is always open. There's no cars anywhere. There are no lights on. Now, if you're a bad guy, where do you go? You don't come to my house.
Right.
You're going across the street. And that's the same with cybersecurity. I think that's a good takeaway for everybody, is you have to make sure that you have as many pieces in place to make them want to move on.
Exactly.
That's the game here. Because nothing in the world is going to guarantee with 100% certainty you won't have a problem. Mm-hmm. Just because you have an alarm system at your house doesn't mean you're not going to have a break-in.
Yep.
But it's important to understand, you got to put as many pieces in place based on your budget, right? But the thing is, it's about protecting your business.
Well, I like when you said based on your budget. One of the things that is very attractive about Telesystem is they cater to businesses of all sizes. And they not only offer cybersecurity, they also offer phone service, internet connectivity, backup, everything on one bill to customers of all sizes. Mm-hmm. Ryan, would you like to elaborate on that?
Sure. Yeah, I think what we do best is putting together and catering these comprehensive technology solutions for our companies and our clients and building a true partnership with them. We don't want to be a service provider that's just invoicing you once a month, but we really want to partner with you and your business to enhance your technology and cut costs where applicable. We work with a lot of clients who are overspending, and they have no idea because their expertise is in their field, whereas our expertise is in technology.
I love the cutting cost part. When you procure phone service, internet service, IT services from 3-4 different vendors, your cost is pretty high. If you could consolidate all of those services on one platform, Telesystem bringing in phone service, internet connection, primary, secondary, tertiary, terminating them into an SD-WAN box, as well as bring in managed IT and cybersecurity on one bill. You can imagine that's significantly lower than what you're currently spending today.
Correct. And it's all being supported by our Telesystem employees based here in the U.S., and we truly take pride in that.
And once someone comes on board, you're actually sending out your technicians. There's a truck roll, somebody comes to your office, installs everything properly, and manages it for as long as you're a customer.
That's correct. Every account is assigned a dedicated project manager as well as a dedicated account manager. All of our clients who come on board with us have a professional install at no cost.
Customer care, obviously we play the first point of contact, as all our customers are well familiar with that. but they can also reach you. You have a call center, you have a network operations center, security operations center that manages those calls.
Correct. 24/7, 365, based here in the U.S. Just a fun fact, we do quarterly reviews with each department, and the average time for our call center to field our call is under 30 seconds. I don't know how many other folks can tout statistics like that. And 80% of those calls are solved in the initial phone call, so a single call resolution.
That is really music to my ear as well as our customers' ears, because there are a lot of companies that provide great service. Now they're counting on the fact that customers are not going to call, and so they offshore their call center to Philippines or somewhere else, and the experience is not always the best. It's really great to hear that you have a US-based call center 24/7, 365, and all calls are answered within 30 seconds. Issues are mitigated very quickly.
Correct.
Excellent. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for dropping by. We really appreciate your time, and our customers are looking forward to engaging with you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Tess.
Thanks.